Sorry? Sorry to interrupt you. We're willing to take the video as well. Because Linda said she doesn't feel that comfortable with it.
No shoot! No shoot!
We snipe away in the darkness, waging some undeclared war, scarred by our previous encounters, wearing each bruise to the core. Whatever our creed or our calling, pretending two wrongs make a right. When we hear on the radio of a Christmas so long ago, when two weary armies rose up at first light, and they walked between the lines, leaving everything behind, reaching out their hands across no man's land for the sake of humankind, to lay differences aside, leave defenses open wide, bringing hope again to the hearts of men for one day, that Christmas tide. A gentle voice sings in the stillness, a carol we've all heard before. A child half asleep in the bedroom, a soldier in the grip of a war. A sound that delights and disarms us, healing division and blame. A plea for some unity, an end to hostilities, reminding us all we can cross that terrain if we walk between the lines, leaving everything behind, reaching out our hands across no man's land for the sake of humankind, to lay differences aside, leave defenses open wide, bringing hope again to the hearts of men for one day, this Christmas tide. If we walk between the lines, leaving everything behind, reaching out our hands across no man's land for the sake of humankind, to lay differences aside, leave defenses open wide, bringing hope again to the hearts of men for one day, this Christmas tide. bringing hope again to the hearts of men for one day this Christmas tide.
Thank you very much for inviting me here today, and I see Rudiger Ludeking, who's the German ambassador to Belgium, quite frequently, so I shall tell him all that he's missed. And in fact, he and I unveiled that monument out there in December 2014, so we both know this village very well. It's really great to have you here today, and for you to be adding your stories to the stories of those who died here all those years ago. And I do hope you'll go back home and that you'll remember what you're learning, and also that the friendships you're forming today will last you, because I think that's really important. Peace doesn't just happen. It's not just the absence of war. It's about people really getting to know each other and respecting each other. And I know you're all going to be doing that.
This is William Toombs. He was 1st Battalion in the Worcestershire Regiment. He was my great uncle. When we was at the Hoo crater there yesterday in the cemetery there, that would have been where he was killed. Yeah.
What now?
Yeah. It's also a bit like, because this is stuff that you don't learn at school, because they can tell you all the facts and the statistics, but I don't think like until you go to the cemeteries and you see actually how many
You actually
people-
understand it better.
Yeah.
And you start feeling a lot more sympathetic than compared to in a classroom. You're like, oh, that's kind of sad. But when you're actually there, it's like, wow, this is.
Hits you harder.
It does. Yeah.
What did you think of the football game?
Okay.
And our
Well,
costumes.
it was nice to reenact it. I mean, like, the awkwardness between us may have been what they felt at the time. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, we've never met before, the Germans, like,
Yeah.
and us from England. So it was nice to maybe like understand how they felt and like get comfortable with one another, because that's how we started the friendships here, which
Yeah.
are pretty good. We're pretty close now.
Yeah, I feel like that football game definitely made us closer as a group, because
It-
we were gone. we were all in the same situation, and it was nice wearing like not the actual costumes, but kind of like
It's easier to enjoy the thing, the whole
Yeah.
trip, and it makes it like more memorable. Like the stuff we're actually experiencing, we can experience it well, and we can remember it well because of the people we're spending it with, and I think that's really important.
Here we are, back again, I can tell you clear and plain. Although we paid the highest price, here we are, back in life. No more will I think of the trenches. Kids will lie, girls on park benches. Damp will I, cannot daily. Love will I know almost daily. But here we are, back again, I can tell you clear and plain. Although we paid the highest price, here we are, back in line. Quietly we march from the wounded hills, the breadth, the numbers of our kills, with all the fear and all the pain, in our heart it will always remain. Peace and painful sacrifice, another war, just...
Today I visited Gate, which is a memorial, and my grandma's great uncle was memorialised there. I'd never seen Gate or him at a memorial before, and I got there, saw the name on the wall, and then all of the names of other people in his battalion and regiment, and it's surprising because there's so many of them and then dead, and they might have known each other, fought with each other, and you look at the name, the one you were searching for, which for me was Charles Beddoe, and you sort of get overwhelmed with emotions, and I've known that none of my family have gone to Gate, so it was nice for me to go there, and you get emotions of pride, but also there is sadness as he has passed away during a time of war, which isn't great.
Guys, for us who were left so alone while we did fight our way back home. So long we kept ourselves alive, our only aim was to survive. Lost in the trenches we are wrecked, yet we fighting our way back. Peace and painful sacrifice, another war just in disguise for us who were left so alone while we did fight our way back home. We were judged and we were jailed, our integration badly failed. Our riots set the town alight, yes, all we knew was how to fight. Peace and painful sacrifice, another war just in disguise for us who were left so alone while we did fight our way back home. Look how we walk the trenches goes, we love the things we love the most. The war that once consumed a nation has formed a young lost generation. Peace and painful sacrifice, another war just in disguise for us who were left so alone while we did fight our way back home. Peace and painful sacrifice, another war just in disguise for us who were left so alone while we did fight our way back home.
Österreich und so. Und Ungarn und so. Ja, die sind drei. Das sind aber nur so die Hauptländer, die da von England hat ja früher die ganzen Kolonien noch. Und Frankreich ja auch, wie Algerien und so. Kommen die 2 Minuten oder hält das? Das ist schwer. Aber Frankreich hat die Kolonien, wie zum Beispiel Tunesien und so. Und die haben ja auch mitgekämpft. Die Tunesien und Algerien und so.
I just think about the feeling of excitement before the war happened, and the naivety of the young people joining to go to the war. I think if you could be there, you'd probably be shouting them to stop and think before they make a decision like that, because what they've lost is so big and it's affected so many people that they'll never be able to experience things as a human being. Almost, it's a very tear-jerking experience for what's happened, and I also think for the British cemeteries, just to look over how many headstones there are, and it's just the silence and just hearing absolutely nothing. You could almost imagine, had the people been alive and standing in a field there, how many stories, moments and memories are in that one place, and how many stories those people have that no one's ever heard before.
To put the burp wire in. Now it's very hard here, but they have to also do it. They put the stick of the entrenching tool in here, and they're turning in the evening or during the night, turning until he's in the ground. If there are no too much stones in there, they're turning. They put the burp wire in here, and then in the morning they're finished.
But when we had the refurbishment of the council, the bill was a big flag, and I'm talking about a really big flag. And it's a silly thing, quite important about the history.
Around Rijksgaten, maybe you have already heard about it. Well, at that moment they had, out of the 24 mines they had been digging during 1916 and beginning of 1917. Well, 19 exploded on the 7th of June 1917. This means that more or less 450,000 kilos of ammunition.
Und jetzt kommen die Liegestützen. Denn, wie fühlt sich das an? Ist das bequem? Das ist ziemlich schwer, sehr ungemütlich. Vor allem, wenn Sie mal dahin blicken, sehen Sie, was Sie da anhaben. Das ist eigentlich nur ein Viertel. Da fehlen noch 3 Metallplatten. Solche Sappenpanzer wurden deshalb nur von Soldaten getragen, die irgendwo Wache halten mussten, weil das Ganze viel zu schwer war, um sich damit bewegen zu können. Der Helm selber nicht zu schwer, ja, relativ locker natürlich, für Soldaten mit großem oder kleinem Kopf gab.
We left home, no intention of coming back soon. We left home, we'd go out from midnight till noon. We'd be lying in fields, how we ended up here. We'd be lying in fields, drunk on wine and stale beer. We'd see millions of stars in eternal night skies. We see millions of stars in Our Lady's blue eyes. And we'd play in the mud, it would spatter our clothes. We would play in the mud where the poppy still blows. We have seen the world like you. We've been there before. We have seen the world like you, but we have seen more.
Bei mir ist ungefähr das Gleiche. Also, letztes Jahr waren die Gefühle extrem. Also es war schwer, das alles aufzunehmen, die ganzen Informationen. Und heute, wenn man das nochmal das ganze Thema wiederholt, wird einem klar eigentlich, wie schlimm es geworden ist und was es für Folgen hat, der Krieg. Und heute, wenn ich jetzt in der Situation wäre, es wird hier Krieg herrschen, würde ich eigentlich nicht gerne in den Krieg ziehen. Ich denke mal, weil uns heute bewusst ist, was es für Folgen hat, welche Gefahren entstehen können. Und früher hat man nicht darüber nachgedacht, man hat einfach in den Krieg gezogen, hat gedacht, man kann sich fürs Vaterland einsetzen. Und heute überlegt man halt über die Gefahren und Risiken, die man dann hat.
I know now what happens and how dangerous it is, and I think, from my perspective, 100 years ago, I as well wouldn't have went into war, because I don't find it fun to kill other people, no matter from which country they come. So I wouldn't want to do that, not for my own free will.
They say it the same.
The same. They don't want to kill anybody, so that's fine.
To rent out his house here in Rudolph Town. Best thing that's ever happened to me since I left England. It's called Talbot House after Reverend Talbot's younger brother who died at Hoog in 1915. Some of the army signallers call it Tock Age. Jokers. They will have their fun. Still, the name stuck. Reverend Clayton's known as Tubby. I suppose he is a bit round. It's probably because he's got such a big heart.
He could listen to a tune. I don't remember. Cliff Richard was one of our singers. One of the Eurovision Song Contests sang the song Congratulations. And he got up and he went, I can play that, and sat and played it all the way through. Couldn't read a word of music. How do you do that? Unfortunately,
Take a bow. Take a bow. We're clapping you.
No intention of coming back soon. We left home and we marched with a rifle platoon. We've been crying in fields how we ended up here. We've been crying in fields numbed with hunger and fear. We've seen millions of stars in the same blue night skies. We've seen millions of scars, carried millions of lies, and we've strayed in the mud. Blood has spattered our clothes. We have strayed in the mud where the soldier boy goes. We have seen the world like you. We've been there before. We have seen the world like you. Have seen more. We've come home, no intention of coming back soon. Now we're home, we'll be sleeping from April till June. We'll be lying in fields, glad we ended up here. We'll be crying in fields, for each dead man a tear. We'll see millions of stars, they'll be shining like nights. We'll see millions of scars on our souls, on our lives. So we'll stay in the mud, it has spattered our clothes. We will stay in the mud, where the poppy still grows. We have seen the world like you. We have seen the world like you. We've been there before. We have seen the world like you. We've been there before. We have seen the world like you. Seen more. We left home, no intention of coming back soon.